Maybe there's a price to pay for killing her. It's better than not killing her. Besides, I finally understood. At SAO, let's do these little tricks. Bad to say I really do understand human psychology. If there is no hatred of the master's injury, and the Lord's protection for me over the years, then we really didn't hesitate. Follow the arrangement of the muscle given. Even if my revenge, it can only be a springboard for the growth of the enemy. Even if we let go of our hatred, we still have to choose to keep it, to stop a rebellion that could destroy the world. And trust the great powers, trust the emperor. But I'm not the flag bearer. There is no overall view of the situation. Can we make the right choice? Or not here? If you were a human, what would you do? The next day at the dojo of Liu 3Yi. After listening to the fake 3 finished speaking, a terrified star uttered, "What do you want? Disband all your disciples and recruit new people, SAO. Save 3 fake nods to explain yes. The price of prayer is too high. I don't want comedies. Step on my old path and my master. I intend to change my mind. Recruiting some criminals. Make them practice breaking the sutras. Let them atone for their own sins. This person is an authority. He is in charge of the devil. Man-eating animals in the forest." To hear the explanations of Save 3 fake, he's even more terrified. "You're crazy. The curse of the traitor in the destruction of the Bible. It's cruel enough. But you also want to accept disciples who have committed SAO. Save 3 banished hands. I don't think these criminals have the courage. Voluntarily accept the challenge, hunting demons to rise to level A. As long as they're at B level. I am not afraid of the curse of the traitor." You can shrug and shrug. Even if it's your dojo. Whatever you want to do, be a chef. We also have no right to interfere. A few years later, 3 people are drinking in the house. There's another kitten flying in and saying, "Save 3, the time has come. The new emperor is about to arrive. Your job is to stop her." The previous news story. It was my grandfather who told you. She is a criminal. He killed your relatives. It's also the cause of the ocean. Save 3 has reached up. It's been said before. It's hard to understand why he's so indifferent. What is your attitude? You don't care about family feuds anymore. Well, that's right. You must be suffering now. Finally, the choice between loyalty or revenge for the family. The bird is restless and says rah. Then suddenly Save 3 and put your hand to grab his neck. When the bird saw that, its eyes widened with fear. "What are you doing?" Save 3 fake watch it laugh coldly. "Have you ever thought about? This time, we can't just avenge our families, but also to avenge my master's disability." The frightened bird screams. Are you mad at this moment of betrayal? You're not afraid of the Lord is coming. Handle you SAO. You don't even stop. When the Lord comes, yes. Regret is not in time. Save the 3 corners of your mouth and laugh more happily. No, we've already probed it. Lord Zhou died in battle in Liao City. There are people in this world who have the power to kill him. There are only a few people. Eliminate those who are not present. The man who was surrounded in the battle of Liao City was the enemy. That's right, the more you panic. Wait, you let me go. Let's talk nice. Save 3 did not care to quickly use the power again. Another cat was strangled by him. It's late. Now the chess players have changed, and we're going to play this game. On the side of the Battle of Liao, a panicked eye fleeing through the air. Behind it is a white bird chasing no cows. American taste. These eyes are really delicious, haha. This bird is a bird. In the right form. Right now, the sound of the third ear echoed. The man who was surrounded in the Battle of Liao City was the enemy, right? This is the magic of the ear wall. His forest pulse. Just distracted. The king immediately appeared behind him. In a level battle like this, you dare to be distracted. You are looking down on us. He said he just opened the book. I want to put the pen down, but the pen couldn't write it down. Was stopped by a wooden ruler. Spring suddenly appeared next to him. It's the same. You didn't miss me too. The king looked a little angry at the enemy. It's a dissonant soul. Then look at the blue eyes next to you. Asking Asian butt. How much time do you have in reserve? Lend me some slough through the ass. He looked at me and said I refused. The king saw it so clearly. It's extremely confusing. Another side, the mules looked at the battlefield below. Take a breath and let me go. Then look at the serene side. Dreaming next door. The owner of the dream world is Lai Gia with me. Go here, hack the la call words. The sleeping French immediately woke up, screaming out loud. Spring is in the air. I can hear the sound of it screaming. Immediately, there was fresh blood on both sides of the ear. He was a little angry and looked down. What kind of business do you do? Let the sound of the Dharma escape. This pink bat is the pressure. This is its labyrinthine state. When he heard the question, he sighed. Forcing others also has limits. Their sounds resonate with each other. It's beyond the confines of this form. Strictly speaking, on one side right now. No wonder we're all going to shut it up. Right now, I'm standing on the boat. The soul of Qin. Behind him is Yang Qian's body. Yang Qian asked with one hand the boat. Are you ready? Seriously, turn your head and look. He nodded, of course. Yang Qian heard that without hesitation. Get ready to throw the boat. Just stand on the bow of the boat. With the help of Yang Qian, the boat broke down, straight towards the serene. France is screaming, suddenly hit by a streak of Venus. The body immediately exploded. The intense light immediately glowed around. Make all the players here. I can't help but close my eyes temporarily. At the same time on the middle side. Some people have just come here. I saw 3 drunk-type pretenders standing there. When he saw the people for a long time, he spoke up. Martial arts master, central plot. 3 senses have been waiting here for a long time. The 2 men were serious, and Trong urged the horse forward. Look at the enemy. At SAO, a martial artist with one side. He's an alcoholic again. Come closer to the 3 questions. Where are the locals? Where have they gone? Save 3 wild calm reply. When the new emperor took office, surely there will be a lot of people looking for trouble. I'm worried that the city will become a battlefield. They arranged for people in the neighborhood. He has temporarily taken refuge. When he heard that, he shouted angrily. It's a mess. As soon as he finished speaking, he spoke in the back. You did the right thing. He looked at her for a long time. Quickly look at them, explain. This way, even if we're under attack. While resting in the center. Then we don't have to worry about accidentally doing some civilian injury. Transferring scenes about the battle between Long and Save 3. She stared at the dragon in front of her. But there's one thing we still don't understand. Save 3 and say it. I quickly said doubt in my heart. At sunset, You're clearly not guilty of killing your disciples. A man as eager to kill me as you are. Sure, you have to know the potential of fire. In my hands. At Sao before the battle, you deliberately bring karma on yourself. Make it harder for yourself. Save 3 wild, staring her disdainful answer. Don't assume you're right anymore. Just said. Behind him, there appeared a plan of fire. All the people see that. They all look with astonished eyes. He looked at it and immediately realized. This is the great battle. Destroy the magic quadrangle of 8 generals. The 4 sides lead the fire. After calling out the war, 3 eyes full of long-term attention. I just don't want to. An outsider interferes with my revenge. You and the Red Cross will follow you. I don't see anything. It's hard to understand what Trong Trong said. This series is not 7. With the death of 8 Sao generals. Where did this mastermind learn it from? I'm nervous right now, say Ra. Now it's pointless to wonder about these things. The existence of Long. Even we are Southern 7T. I only knew recently. But save these 3 pages already know, and arranged in the central plot many years ago. Why can he be sure? His predecessor will die, and Long will be the one to replace. After all, what is the purpose of AI? But to reveal information for a long time to save 3. After all the extraordinary things that have happened. We've even come up with a theory. The hair on the back. Immediately after saving 3 field deployed out of the battle, 4 directions fire. Pink inter-industrial fire of Long. Immediately under the relentless battle, the old man looked at his fire. Sucked away by the great battle and assimilate. He was very calm looking at the enemy. So this is your rock. You think that we and the Red Cross are under our control? Will be limited by your strategy. Save 3 nature transformed into the form of psychopaths. Long calmly replied, of course, it's possible. It's been very difficult to understand for a long time. But have you ever thought about? We can fly away from the center. And don't fight on your own turf. Save 3 was immediately thrown out. Fong San, hammock. You think I'll give you a chance to get out of here? Long look at the net, covering the castle. In the air, Kier, then the face dropped. French gas seal, SAO save 3 fake nod. That's right, one of us will die here today. He said he just took out the second magic weapon. Invisible flag. His body image, slowly disappearing into the void. No. Watch the enemy slowly disappear in front of you. Just woke up. Rao is like that. SAO immediately analyze all the enemy's plans. First, using my firefighting method. Then use the sealing method. That locked me in the city. Finally relying on the hidden magic. To avoid yourself, become the direct target of the national defense. That we carry. And then slowly find an opportunity to assassinate and kill me. There's no denying that this strategy actually works. Can be against me. But it shouldn't be a. If the devil broke into my room last night, it was because he let go. Then he must have realized that. We have the ability to detect hidden objects all around me. Or the one who unleashed that evil is someone else. For a long time thinking. Then save 3 fake, I don't know. The devil doesn't he appear behind your back? He didn't say much. Directly, an executioner directed her down. But the enemy's sword had just been cut. Long ago, immediately slipped aside to avoid. And then use ultra-fast speed. Use red interstitial fire to cover your hands. Then firmly grasp the enemy's sword. Save 3 saw that it is extremely scary uttered. Wait, why can you feel me? In a state of hiding. Long time calmly replied, what's so surprising about this? If hiding is absolutely unbreakable. So 5 things. It's already been classified as a 10-tone world. The stronger the agency, the harder it is to be effective. You don't know this morality. If you hear that, immediately drop out of school. Back to back. And then again fall into a state of hiding. The floor gripped the school, saw the aesthetic opponent. After discovery, we intend to bring the battle into close quarters. You immediately throw away the sword. You are so determined. I'm afraid you thought my Mandarin can only detect people in scope via walk. So, you have to find a way to avoid close combat. But it's a shame. Your guess is completely wrong. The way we move, it could cover the entire district. That's why I dueled with you. Is because my power is completely superior to yours. Think about here, long time ago, side out the way dynamic current. Everything inside the central district. It immediately appeared in your head. After a long time, I turned my head to the side. It's on the other side. 3 people are constantly running away. I want to extend the distance for a long time. Suddenly, I don't know where it came from. Chased him behind his back. Save 3, and you can't stop. Set freight again. Quickly take out the hand to catch the enemy's attack. After slashing Ra a long sword to glance at the enemy's smile, laughing, I have to say, your sword is actually quite good-handed. 3 days later, the sweat was pouring out like rain. What are you kidding? At this distance, she still finds us. It is limited by the blessings that God has given us. So for over 15 years. It is not always easy to teach for a long time. The great school is too advanced, but it doesn't mean that time is wasted. With the guidance of strict Hoa, the engineering of gases, the soul and soul of long ago has been accumulating in a very deep way. Much better than your peers. The most important thing here is even though compared to powerful American tactics, we've got these basic techniques. Only a small part in increasing the power of long. However, because 15 hours of practice every day is the same as every day. At this point, Cho Liu 3 has encountered a battle filled with difficulties, exceeded all of his expectations. Save 3 faked no matter how hidden. They were caught and slashed for a long time. In the blink of an eye, he was covered in wounds. Save 3 medium, to avoid the enemy's attack both aesthetically. Rao is like that. It's her problem. Is not the scope of the restricted authority. Which is simply, she can totally rely on force to overwhelm me. That's a big mistake. We shouldn't use normal arguments to judge a monster like her. After an attack, the corners of the mouth are slightly swollen. The loophole is clearly visible. He just raised his sword to the school, the enemy's direction down. If you see 3, you have no intention of avoiding it. Just 1 knife. Let's make it up to us to make up for our mistakes. Save 3 and let the school slash you. Definitively a punch swung up. The head of the long is straight. Next here, I won't give you a chance to fight in close combat. If you have been punched for a long time, applaud. Very wise decision. Use injuries to escape combat hand in hand. This decision saved your life. Martial arts master, central plot. The 2 men had long been flown away. Then run to ask, Lord, you are not good. For a long time, one side of the cheek remained dented and stood up calmly. No, we've got the gas ready. His wounds are much worse than mine. I see that there is no shadow in front of me. There are a few sighs. Unfortunately, he could not finish him. He will try to avoid confrontation. Close to me. 3 of them have now turned back into human form. In front of the chest, there are deep cuts. Fresh blood is still flowing out endlessly. He remembered the battle he'd fought, uttered with fear. Fortunately, you can still keep the network. But the key are monsters' martial arts. It is said to be taught by martial arts saints. We also believe in risky tactics. He suffered heavy injuries to end the battle. That's right. If we continue, we must die without a doubt. Look at everything this way. It seems we're getting too far. Big Bang's decision was right. If it were me, I'd bet on someone with that kind of talent. Even though I don't think she'll make it. Just like the previous show, but with her current style. You carry the burden of the Lord on your shoulders. It's not too much. However, if only there, but talent and talent are not enough to overcome. We still have to test our nature and your position. If you are pushed into a desperate situation, when I use magic to hunt you, if you can't keep your original position, instead, come back and try to reconcile with me, then you'd better die in Chung. I thought he just started praying to me. The Holy Father's prayer, it can solve thousands of disasters. The great grace of God. I can give you 100 good wishes. Nay, at the request of the third generation. I pray to the 9 gods. According to his request. The wound stretched across his chest are using extremely fast closing speeds. Violation of the taboo of business destruction, leading to the world. They themselves cannot continue to advance. Save 3 fake it SAO again given that. You can rely on force for a long time. The answer is that it's in the trash. It was originally invented by the ancients. Just to get rid of the predator. Take them as food. And its principle is very simple. We just need to simulate the natural temperament of our prey. Based on the dominance ratio between predator and prey, which weakens the power of the prey. And through hunting challenges, difficulty to strengthen physically, from which to achieve both physical and gaseous molting. But behind this seemingly simple mechanism, there's a possibility that the disaster masters. There's no way the data can get there. That is, if there's that AI that's constantly morphing into a natural enemy of predatory predators who harm one side, then he can constantly increase his power through this incredible process of mutilation. This incredible feat of contemporary technology. It ended Kim's career. And at the same time, it's become a fear. The thorn in the eyes of the master of all things and calamity. Time gradually passes by. Although the destruction of the business was soon modified by the master of all things, it's a new cultivation system. With the main content as God's blessing. But with the approval of the Holy Father. Save 3 has held both old and new versions of the Bible. Although it's limited by the supervision of the muscle. So Save 3 cannot choose more advanced prey to challenge ourselves. But with the subtraction of both old and new versions of the Bible, Save 3 was perfectly capable of killing Long. Save 3 and take out a devil mask. So let's start our last dance. This mask is a blood mask. Receive the blessing of God's blessing. If you wear this mask, you will lose all of your pain. Every wound received must. Everything can heal in a short time. It's the same as having a lifespan to pray. The side effects are, if you can't kill the hunter, there is no way to remove the mask. And during the mask will not be able to sleep. It's a taboo not to use it to hunt people. Violators will be struck by God to withdraw the blessing. And this drum is kneeling. With the blessing of God's grace. Accompanying this drum beating, and combined with special war dances, can greatly improve the speed, strength and flexibility of the body. The taboo is not to use it to attack people. If the violation, I will be blessed by God on the other side. Long standing in place waiting. She looked up at the sky inexplicably. Why hasn't he turned into a dragon yet? It's extremely confusing to hear that. He turned into a dragon. Long quickly explained. Even though martial artists hold this central plot, used some kind of strategy to seal my fire karma. But in a half-human and half-dragon state, he's still restrained by my customs and martial arts. If you want to keep fighting, then he can only transform into a dragon. But he didn't. What that means is, when I heard that I was close by, I spoke up. That means he still has an unturned card. Long nod. That's why we're getting more and more curious. The person behind him is the AI. How quickly it can take a long time to develop. Okay, he didn't attack. Then let me find him. They quickly located the enemy's position. Before leaving, I didn't forget to remind you to stay in the. Go and meet with Wei Mei's first. Then get as far away from our position as possible. Fighting soon. We might unleash a greater level of fire. Burn down the city. The two men immediately bowed their heads and clasped their hands. Yes, my lord, it's been a long time since I left. 3 people are standing on the roof of a house. He sighed when he saw it coming from a distance. Unfortunately, some blessings have not yet been granted. If you give me a little more time, the more certain everything will be. Finished talking, he then raised his bow to the long shot. With the blessing of God's grace, that was shot by an arrow from this bow. Even if they're stopped or knocked out, the prey is hit by it. It's also very easy to generate feelings of fear. Desperate. The taboo is that it can't be used to hunt people. Offenders will be blessed by God. Quick arrow shoot out. When he saw the arrow coming, he waved his hand. The arrow was immediately broken in 2. She looked at the 3 as if looking at the incomprehensible idiot. Is this guy stupid? With the martial arts skills that we showed Ra before. Arrows with normal orbits like this. How could they shoot us? A long way gripped Lao Lao's school too. Then definitely, the direction of the stream 3 has dropped down. Save 3 was quickly raised to the medical school pickup. Looking at the enemy, laughing coldly. Why didn't you turn into a dragon? Someone with less martial arts than me. As you fight like this, there is absolutely no possibility of winning. Save 3 casually replied. Who said I want to continue to compete martial arts with you? When I hear that, my face is full of confusion. The third one, doesn't he make you wait long? Breaking the most primitive sutra, the predator is immediately deployed Ra. On Saver 3 Wild, there's a pink gas coming out. Then quickly, LAN wide long coverage inside. Long enough to sense this airflow. Then immediately back to the back. Escape from its coverage VI. But you also practice solitude. But it's too late. In your eyes, the 3 men have now turned into a demon. Save 3 fake chills. Why not? Although their effects are similar. But gas, we simulate that Ra is fundamentally different from the poison. If the description is accurate, it just triggers deep fear. Inside your veins. Fear of natural enemies. They are fully protected by the army. Maybe you've never faced the horror directly. Between the boundaries of life and death. People who have never faced it. Whatever the position or how high their previous power was. It will also be difficult to accurately perceive yourself. Now we're going to use this fear to help you see yourself. Long-suffering head-hugging ask. Wait, you have a skill like this. Why didn't I use it before? Save 3 casually replied. Because they're strictly forbidden. Use with humans. Be honest if you can. We don't want to lose them for violating the taboo. The spear in his hand. It is also a blessing from God. It can stab its prey to death in 300 steps. After draining out. If the spear can't hit the prey, within 300 steps, the user will die. It can't be used to hunt humans. If the offender will be beaten, I withdraw the blessing. Save 3 fake holding up the spear aimed towards the long. But that doesn't matter. Then losing them. Our revenge is more important. The spear just pierced. It has long been a red carpet. Dissolve in front of him. If you can see that, you will return to the school. Between the boundaries of life and death. You have no choice but to kneel down. But I didn't choose to risk going forward. Of course, you and your predecessor are very different. However, the second survey of moods, you also think you can get through. Long, he's hiding in a small alley in the city. Someone hiding under her shadow asked, "Do you need my help?" This strategy is not simple. His technique completely restrains you. If you keep fighting, you risk 7 lives. Long time no we can. Here Black Shadow still does not give up, continue to advise. It really doesn't have to be that way. I know you want information from him. But we can do it too. Long angry biting teeth yelled out. I told you you can finish talking. Your face is dull, and then you fall down. Very quickly save 3 fake went to the front of her. I didn't say that. The prey was pierced by my spear. They can't get very far. Looking up at the opponent, struggling to ask. The man you mentioned earlier is the one. He is far away to help you. And what's the relationship between you? Save 3 waving hands. These are your questions. It's like I'm the one who's dying. After a moment, he sat next to her for a long time. Okay, like this. You just need to make a list of foster parents. I have protected you over the years. I will answer the question or give it to you. Long bite your teeth yelled out, you are dreaming Sao. I am the Lord of Heaven. He will never betray his brother. If you listen to that, I have a little regret. It's a shame. Even if you are about to die. I'm going to let you die. There are 2 people helping us in this revenge. Someone far beyond you and me. He called himself the King of Heaven. The other is a young man who's a martyr. They think they're satisfied if they're satisfied. Then let's go. When he finished speaking, he raised the spear in his hand. Prepare to crash. For a long time there was no fear. On the contrary, the corners of the mouth rise. Thank you for the information you provided. I think 3 is extremely suspicious. Very quickly, the fire rose violently. It covers an entire city. Tightly clench the leg, save 3 pages. Let red, union fire, LAN to burn the enemy. Then we'll arrange for retainers. Look at the 2 people you just mentioned. Move the scene back to a moment ago. We talked for a long time and called the fire department. To try VI Battle of Liu 3 field. After checking it for a while, she woke up and said, "Of course, it is. From the beginning, I've been fooled by the martial artist. The scope that this battle can affect. It's about a quarter of the size of the city. The fire outside this area will not be absorbed by the French. After listening, it is difficult to understand, but it's also very irrational. Clearly he knows. The city cannot cover the whole area. When did he release the sealing spell? Doesn't shrink the scope any further. On the contrary, it leaves such a large area. At any time, it can also be, we've discovered the limitation of the battle. I also have an opinion right now. No, think in a different way. If you violate the seal on our heads, It's only a quarter of the way down. Then the scope of the activities of the martial arts master central plot. After becoming a dragon, it would be too small to say that. You think the reason why the martial arts master 0 violator VI legal gas sealed with battle method. It's because of the fear of synchrony. Will be detrimental to the operation in the shape of long SAO. I sat there listening to them from beginning to end. In my head, my mind is constantly spinning. If you look at it this way. Martial artist central ploy. Attack me with hidden magic. Combined with the half-dragon form that 7 defeat. Maybe we've run out of cards. He will most likely turn into a dragon. To fight the decisive battle, we can finally pretend to be weak. From there, more information about the Lordian. His mouth. Move the scene to the present. Long-fisted feet saved 3 wild smiles. Although there are many other points than expected. But still good, the result is still not deviating. Martial arts master central plot. You wouldn't expect that either. I will take advantage of your weakness. To turn the tide. Right not save 3 has been read interprofessional fire rap body. I just woke up now. Then Ra is like that SAO. Whatever at the time. You did not fight with me. Just launch a fire and retreat. Because we were on the outermost edge of the Great War. 4 directions fire. You are afraid if I get caught in the fire. We'll retreat into the great battle. It's a long battle with you. But have you ever thought about this? If the dragon shape, it's not our strongest form of power, then we don't have to care about that. Why did we leave such a big hole? Let you take advantage. When I heard that, my face immediately cracked. 3 did not notice her turning her head. After a loud shout, the 4 directions lead the fire great battle of Chu and the expansion followed his voice. The great battle light is hovering in the distance. Immediately, there is a fire-free pink motion due to long release. Immediately fluttered by it. Wait until the fire is destroyed. Not wrong. 3 people have been lying on the ground for a long time. In fact, the VI scope of the 4 directions leads to the great fire. Can be adjusted. The reason we deliberately exposed the gap. Obviously, to give you peace of mind to fire. Or we can borrow it. Where are so many fires? When he finished, he whispered to himself. Even though we don't know, what do you want to do with my body? But by violating the taboo of breaking the economy, I will be blessed by my father. At the same time, they will be burned. The body of a low-ranking man. Be taken away, blessed. Even if you hold the secret of life and death. I can't use my dead body in any useful way. Go thought. On chest save 3 wild now. There's a battle plan. Then he raised his hand. The 4 directions lead the fire to my command. According to the sound of, the fire has just been sucked away. This time it's burning towards his body. I've been on the ground for a long time, and it's very difficult to understand. Are you crazy? They use the strategy to kill the enemy. Used on my head. Save 3 legs and sit down. We're not crazy. The possibility of this battle, it is that we prepare for ourselves. Stand up and stare at the enemy. I still don't understand. You can definitely throw a blow. And finally finish me. But in the end, you give up. They even use war against us. Up to myself. Save 3 fake glances, she laughs. Turning a good revenge drama into a suicide tragedy. Is it very absurd, right? Not long after, he looked unresponsive. Save 3 and continue talking. It's because of my revenge. And self-immolation is 2 separate things. You have passed my test. So I won't kill you. We burn our bodies after we die. My body won't be taken by that AI. Doing things we don't like. Staring at the enemy for a long time, We still don't understand. Save 3 was quickly withdrawn.